but I really don't know what designs I should use in order to do that. Yeah, I'm gonna have to go to the testing center. Welcome to the Giga Core Testing Center, where safety is a concern. Now, I have a couple of designs, and first things first, when it comes to the Warden is fireproof, so you can't kill it with lava, you can't kill it with campfires, but it does drown, so I thought, hey, why not? So over here is a drowning chamber, but the problem with the drowning chamber is that it takes way too long. So as the Warden's here, it's going to slowly drown, but the thing is, because of how much HP it has, nearly twice the amount of an Ender Dragon, it's going to take way too long, and there's actually a chance for it to despawn. So right now it's getting hit, and you think, oh cool, it's going to die soon. That's not right at all. It's going to take way too long. For every time that it gets hit, it's gonna lose like half a heart, maybe. And so this is not really a practical application, and it's more of a theoretical, yeah, the Warden can indeed drown. So let's just put this out of its misery. So then I thought, you know, the Warden can only attack one thing at a time. So originally I was thinking, well, I could just breed up a lot of dogs or get a lot of bees and just like attack it in mass, like Zerg swarm it. And then I thought, I have an iron farm. And the thing is with this is that you need actually 6 iron golems appearing at the same time in order to beat one Warden, which is a lot more reasonable. However, this is also in the stipulation that you create like a chamber for which the Warden can fight. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I think I'm putting 7, but that's neither here nor there. So as you can see, the Warden can only attack 1 iron golem at a time. The thing is that it kills 1 iron golem every 3 hits, and that's nowhere near enough. And even then, the iron golems could barely win. There was actually 7 in there, so they kind of just wiped it. And I thought, oh, that's actually quite reasonable. Here's the problem though. The issue is with this is that this is going to take a lot of golems. 6 is not a cheap thing. To make an iron golem, you need 4 iron blocks. 4 iron blocks is 9 iron ingots. So that's 36 iron ingots times at least 6. So you're looking at around 264 iron ingots. Now, I already used up all of my iron ingots in order to make the beacon. So yes, theoretically, this could work, but it's way too expensive in my opinion. But this can serve as a final backup plan in case my other ideas don't work. So then I thought, okay, why don't we just drop it? Now here's the problem, and the way that fall damage is calculated is fall damage minus 3 divided by 2. Well, I guess parentheses here, let me just write it out for you. So fall damage is, let's say X is fall damage, so you take that, divide that by 2. So it's the reason why that you can't actually, when you jump up, you don't actually take fall damage. In fact, you can go up to 4 blocks without actually losing HP. And yes, I've done a lot of research on this because a Warden has 250 health. That means that normal convention of just falling the Warden isn't gonna be enough. In fact, you actually have to utilize a dripstone in order to really kill it. Now, the fascinating thing about dripstone, or more specifically, a pointed dripstone, is that a pointed dripstone, if you fall on top of it, magnifies the amount of damage you take by 3. So X minus 3 divided by 2 times 3. That being said, at the very minimum, at least 200 blocks, and then they have to land on a dripstone. So it's a lot more reasonable. Like, you don't have to use gold blocks, obviously, and you could probably just like lure the Warden over into a water column and it'll just get yeeted up there. And as you can see, it's gonna go get pushed across the top end and then just kind of fall to its doom. This might take a bit because 200 blocks is really high up, and it might have actually despawned. Nope, it's coming down, and boom. There you go. This is also possible. The problem with this is that I would have to dig over 200 blocks. Now, the deep dark that I have found is already at negative 53 underneath a mountain. Pushing it up to 200 blocks and then landing on a dripstone is very possible, and it's not really that resource intensive. The issue lies in that the deep dark is usually below Y level 40, 50, meaning that I would have to then dig from Y level 40 all the way up to at least Y level 160, and that's gonna be a lot of work, and honestly it's gonna be way too time consuming. Even with a beacon, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to do it. So while this is not that hard to set up, it's problematic in that it might take too long to set up. And so I thought, hey, why don't we do a trusty TNT? So up here we have a classic TNT duper using slime blocks. In order to do that, you can actually check out my YouTube. I created a short on this on how to make a cobblestone generator, and this actually has the same sort of setup. So what'll happen here is that whenever a TNT goes down and gets duped, it'll get sent to the bottom and explode. Now, in order to save the bottom, and I just wanted to collect the things, the water doesn't actually take away the damage, it just prevents things from getting destroyed below it. Now, I've ran this a couple of times, and you need at least 13 TNT, which I thought pretty reasonable. The issue in lies is getting this much obsidian without actually making an obsidian farm. Now, I could use my basic lava farm that I made using cauldrons, but even so, it's gonna take a little bit, and I haven't even found a slime chunk. And if I didn't use a slime chunk, I would have to make a swamp-based slime farm. That's really hard to say. And I, one, don't really know where the swamp is, so I would have to find it. And two, I would have to construct it. Or I would have to find a slime chunk, and I don't know where a slime chunk exists because I haven't gotten there yet. And by doing so, I would also take up a lot of time that I don't have. Remember, I'm on day 73 at most, and that's excluding the days that I have to sleep. At most, that would mean I have a little under 3-4 hours remaining before I hit day 100. So in 3-4 hours, I'm going to have to make up a solution, and that's clearly not it. But just so you could see how this works, I'm gonna get a warden. Putting a warden down here wouldn't be that hard. I would just use the same mechanics as the trapdoors, and I would send it down, and it would get trapped into this like area where it's a TNT safe. Then I would go up here 27 blocks above it, and then just start bombing the crap out of it. It's truly hilarious watching this work. Now, occasionally, it does like get launched upwards because TNT is right below it, but it's pretty easy to set up, but I just don't have the materials nor the means to do so yet. It is absolutely diabolical, and it's very entertaining to watch. The most powerful mob would be destroyed relatively easy. But again, same thing with the water elevator fall pit. I just don't have the resources yet. And the same thing with the iron farm. I don't have the resources yet. And drowning's gonna take so long. And I was thinking to myself, how am I gonna solve this problem? And then I thought, what about a gold farm? Now see, the way that the gold farm works is that it uses a concept called entity cramming. Now what entity cramming is that if one spot has at least 25 entities in it, so it could be armor stands or mine carts, which I'll get into that in just a moment. If it has mine carts or armor stands, and if there's 24 in one spot or 25 in one spot, I forget which is which, the player or whatever other mob that goes into it will receive a massive amount of damage. The reason being is that the game is actively trying to remove that one additional mob from that area. It's how cattle farms work, it's how gold farms work. When they get into one spot and they're getting killed by entity cramming, it's probably one of the most damaging things you could do, and it's really not that hard to set up. The problem is that there's only really one way to do this, and that is to get the warden into the hole. Now, the reason why I have trapdoors is because I was still thinking to myself how this would work, and I would probably have to bait the warden into running at me and just kind of like being in the line of danger. And I'll show you how this works. So again, both of these have 25 minecarts respectively. So there's 50 minecarts in total. And to make a single minecart is 5. To make 50 is 250 iron ingots. Now we're running into the issue that we are with the iron golems. But the thing is that the iron golems is a one use. And once they die, they die. However, the minecarts can remain. And I have uses for minecarts later on, and I can just transfer them over. It's a reusable thing that I'm actually willing to give up. It's only the issue of getting it in the first place. So I'm probably going to have to AFK in that one spot for a little bit, but that's neither here nor there. So after I attract the warden over, it's going to fall through this pit. And why it's going to fall through this pit instead of going around is because the trapdoors here. Now the trapdoors are in the open position. So obviously I'm not going to like just keep walking and fall in. I'll die. But how the mob pathing works is that it sees trapdoors and it recognizes it as a valid path for it to walk to. So while the warden is chasing me, it's gonna walk over here and then fall into the pit and then just shortly get killed. Now, I'll demonstrate how fast a warden can actually get killed using entity cramming. Let's get our warden here. And right now the game is actively trying to remove him from the game. And I'm not entirely sure how fast it goes, but it's very, very quick. Considering that it has 250 HP, it's actually gonna like just zoom on by. Now the issue I have here, and I'll get into this later, is that while this is going on, the warden may not detect me. But you'll find out in a moment that that's not really an issue. Hard mode also has the highest HP as well, so it might actually take a little bit. Now the issue with the entity cramming is that even though it's doing a lot of damage, it doesn't exactly kill him immediately. And if it doesn't generate aggro, if it doesn't stay angry, oh, it just died. So I guess that's not really a problem. If a warden doesn't stay angry, if it doesn't detect a character, or if it doesn't have any mobs around it, it'll despawn. It's the reason why the drowning one doesn't work, because if it takes too long, the warden's going to go away. So how are we going to solve this? By using a note block, a couple of observers, as well as a piston just to activate it, we can create a noise machine. When I activate this, you'll notice that it's not activated. When observers observe each other, it makes a really fast 0 tick. And what the 0 tick does is basically send a redstone in 0 time, meaning that this note block will continuously keep updating. Here it is. Now this doesn't sound like a lot. However, Warden really does not like noise. So as you can see, just this small amount of noise is enough for this warden to stay angry, and it's actively trying to get to this sound block. Now, because this is also not an entity, it's not trying to kill anything, but it'll stay angry enough for it to remain alive. And this is generally how the machine that I'm gonna beat the warden in is gonna work. And when you're done, you just turn this off, and the whole noise machine also turns off. Here is my answer. Now, this is a valid shrieker. As you can see on the right side, the targeted block, Minecraft Skulk Shrieker, and can summon to true. Now, this is important. You can't just place down a Skulk Shrieker in your friend's base and expect it to work. Once you mine it, that's it. It doesn't summon anything. So it has to be naturally spawning within a deep dark or an ancient city. So once you mine it, that's it. But for the sake of testing, you could actually just summon one up. It's really not that hard of command. But if you want to go check that out, go check out the Minecraft wiki, where you can find a command on how to actually turn it on. So how the Skulk Shrieker works is that if it activates 4 times, it'll summon a warden, meaning that you have basically 3 forgiving chances before the warden comes. And after the 3rd one, if you activate it again, you're dead, more or less. So I was thinking, how do I make a warden purposefully fall into a 1 block area? Because I don't want to use 250 iron ingots. By reducing it to 1, I only need 125 ingots, thereby only needing roughly 2 stacks of iron ingots, which is definitely doable given that I have 2 iron farms. And I was thinking to myself, the way that my iron farm works is that it's surrounded by non-spawnable blocks. See, the warden needs to actually have a spawnable area of which has a top surface. And what I mean by that is that if you look over here, this slab is half a block, meaning that this is an unspawnable area. So this top slab over here is spawnable for the warden. Now, these trapdoors are here to trick the warden. They're in an open position, meaning that the warden is going to think that it's able to reach this note block. This note block is going to be generating noise similar to the noise machine over here. And what I'm thinking, because I haven't really tested it yet, is that by activating the warden, the only place that it could spawn is right here, because this is the only spawnable area. Once it spawns, it'll walk forward trying to get to that noise block and then fall in, more or less. Now, how a Skulk Shrieker spawns in, being the center, needs to be an 11 by 11 area. Up and down is 16. So 8 up, 8 down, 5 left, 5 right. Chests are not spawnable. These are not spawnable because there is a slab right on top. Glass also is not a spawnable area for mobs either. It has to be some sort of full block. So top slabs. Now, with any luck, this should work. And if not, I really don't have any other solutions other than the aforementioned fall pit and the iron golems. And if push comes to shove and this doesn't work, I'm going to be down 125 iron ingots, because you can't refund minecarts. Once you make it, that's it. So we're going to set our game mode to survival, because I'm actually kind of curious if this will work. And away we go. God, I hate that sound. Okay, so warden draws close. So that is my first penalty. If I remain standing on the shrieker, it'll keep activating. That is the second warning. That I hate how that sounds. Okay, that's the third one, and it should be arriving either the 4th, 5th, or 6th time. Right on cue. So from here, we turn on the noise machine, and the warden should just go in. Oh my god, it's working. So we're gonna just sneak away just so I don't exactly die. This is working. This might actually work. It's funny, this sounds like a heartbeat, similar to the warden's heartbeat. Oh my god, it might actually just work. Oh, and it's pretty compact. It's really not that hard to make. This could work. I'm gonna need like a lot of courage in order to pull this off. But that's more or less how I'm gonna kill the warden. Let's go back to the world and we're gonna create something like this with the Skulk trigger that I have in the technical Minecraft world. And now that I actually am done with testing, I am very nervous because this could make or break the technical world. If it doesn't work, then I might not have enough time to do anything else. So we are going to be full committing into making this. No pressure. So now that we have all of our plans in order, let's get right into this and hopefully my planning works out. I really don't have a backup plan. It's either gonna work or it's not gonna work. So here's hoping it does. What building materials do I have? Because I'm going to need slabs. I don't have enough cobblestone to surround the area. I do have a lot of netherrack just to fill in any gaps that I think would be in the way. I think let's go with 12 stacks just in case. We could probably use wood. We'll probably use wood for the slabs. Or andesite? I mean, we already have the polished andesite slabs. Do we have any more andesite? 44. And I really don't use andesite anyway. We'll also do diorite as well. We'll bring this with us so I could keep everything in its raw form. Now we're going to need to make a noise machine. Do I have it? Yes, I do have redstone. I'm going to need some wood. Do I have sticky pistons? I don't. Oh, yes. Okay. I can make it a sticky piston. If not, I would have just kept it on and been really annoying, but you gotta do what you gotta do. I need cobblestone to make observers. As far as the glass goes, I'm not sure if glass will do it, but we could also use soul sand because it's not a full block. I don't know if I have any more glass to mess around with. I used all of it for my iron farms. Doesn't seem like it, so we're gonna have to use soul sand, which means we're gonna be doing this blind. Beautiful. Let's grab one more stack just in case. I don't know how many days I've been awake. Ooh, there we go. 3 stacks. That'll work. I don't know how many days I've been awake, so there's a good chance. It's a good chance that the phantoms will spawn, but it doesn't seem like they're spawning now, which means I should be safe for now. We'll grab one of our crafting tables. This is gonna be it. We'll grab the rest of our glass just so we could observe it dying in front of us. This is gonna be all the things that we'll need in order to kill the warden. Maybe. Also, if you're wondering, why am I not wearing my netherite suit? Well, here's the thing. It's not protection 4. So even if I wore the netherite gear, it'll just one-shot me anyway. So we're just going to use my dummy like diamond gear in order to just handle it. And if you're wondering where those are, it's right up here. My enchanted netherite gear. Eventually, I'm going to have this entire row be like different armors and stuff, but that's really not that important for now. I'll get into the specifics of that later. For now, I just need to focus on this one thing. Before we go, we're going to load up one more time using our mushrooms, and let's go head over to the deep dark and just begin work there. And I already set up another portal that goes to the area. My concern is that the nether portal might be too low, but we'll chance it. Push comes to shove, we'll just move it. It's really not that big of an issue, but that is a small concern of mine. But it's not that big of a concern. And I'll show you the deep dark area. It's very, very, very scary. So this is the deep dark area. I came from up there. There might be an issue of them coming down and attacking me, and I really don't want to deal with that. So I'm gonna just go out 5 from the Skulk Trigger, which is behind this. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 for just good measure, and just put just a quick wall around this area, because I really don't want any unneeded interruptions for this, and just completely close off this area. Am I still in the deep dark? Yes, I am. Okay, cool. So all around me is different areas that have multiple shriekers, multiple skulk sensors, and managed to secure this one right over here. So we're gonna use this one to make our, well, warden killer. Go 6 from here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then we're gonna fill up the area with netherrack, and then we're gonna have to mine out this area or kind of leave it alone. I don't know, because these are full blocks, so it's a potential that it could actually spawn right here too. So we're probably gonna have to open it up as well. I might actually need more netherrack. No, you should be fine, maybe. And if anything, I'll just use like deep slate and just mine around the area if I need to. Now the reason why I am raising the floor to Skulk Trigger height is because I want to make sure that there's no area beneath us for which the warden can actually spawn in. If there's area below us, there's a chance that the warden could actually spawn beneath it and will make the entire machine useless. So we want to remove that possibility entirely. I have to make sure that up until this height is completely pushed back to this length. It's going to take a bit of digging. Quick interruption. I know that only 10% of you actually subscribe to this channel. watching this long, I must be doing something right. So if you like this video, hit that like button and please subscribe to this channel. Any support helps, and these videos take a bit long to make. Thank you so much, and back to the video. Okay, theoretically, that should be fine. And if not, then I'm dead. There's really not much of a middle ground there. So hopefully we'll be fine. Okay. If the soul sand already didn't prevent, this should really not prevent the warden from spawning here. Again, I don't really know the spawning rules per se. I just know generally how it works. 17, 18, 19, 20, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And there you go. That is entity cramming like crazy. Start building staging platform for it. Being careful not to fall in myself, because that's gonna be a one-way ticket to death. Now I need to make the noise thing up here. So I'm gonna remove this. Oh, almost fell into my death. Oh, my butt is very clenched right now. Bottom slab on both sides, just in case, because it's going to pull back and become a full block, so we don't want that. Spawn proof, spawn proof. Activating noise machine. Oh, the button's going to be a problem. It turns off the noise machine. So what we're going to do instead is put that up here. I'm so paranoid now. I'm like stupidly paranoid, because I only really have one shot at this. Otherwise, I just let a warden out loose for no reason, and I'm not going to be able to kill it. Once we start activating this, that's gonna be it. It's either gonna work or not. And yeah, wish me luck. 3. All right, here we go. Let's see if this small machine works. The suspense is killing me. Just come on out. Oh my god, it's out. Is it working? Yes. Oh my god, it's working. Oh my god, it's working! That's it! I've done it! I've killed the warden! That's it, I've done it! I've done it! That's it! Successfully killed the warden using science and game mechanics. Oh! Let's go! We did it. The Skulk Catalyst, indicating that we have in fact killed the warden. I can't believe it worked just like that. Oh, that's wonderful! And with that, we have successfully finished all six of our tasks before the 100 days. I think it's only like day, what is it? It's only day 75. We have 25 more days left. We did all of our goals in 75 days, including beating the warden. And all it took was just a little bit of game mechanics. Well, my roomies, that's it for this episode. If you enjoyed this video, hit that like button, subscribe to see more, and I will see you all next time. But until then, I've been your number one and most humble host, Kigurumi. Bye-bye.